just double check this here. Okay, Bobby No Nuts, let's do this. I haven't even checked my camera or the lights because I'm too fucking cool for school.
3, 2, 1. Hey, Chris. How are you?
Hey, Bob. How are you? I'm okay.
I'm great.
Are you okay?
We're gonna do some gunslinging this week.
I'd fucking love a fucking gun, Rob. I would love a fucking
It's
gun.
between industry gear news and artistic farty news.
Listen to this. I was doing a thing. What was I doing a thing? I was doing a thing online recently, a couple of days ago, and somebody said to me, "My goodness, you know your technical information." And I started laughing. I was like, "What?" They were like, "You sound really techy," and I was like, "Oh, and fuck." I said, "You know, I've been doing a podcast."
What was that for?
I've been doing a podcast. I can't remember what it was. It'll come to me in a second. And I've done so many fucking recently, Rob. I said that I've been doing these podcasts with my friend who's geeky, nerdy. I said he's really into the thing, and I fucking know all mine's is fine art and all his is fucking mine's documentary and fine art and his is mostly tech talk, gear talk. And I said, but it just goes to show that if you don't pay attention, stuff still goes in.
Nice, thank you.
You're very
Thanks
welcome.
for admitting it.
Yeah, but what fucking I was talking about, I can't remember what I was talking about. Fucking lighting me knuckles and fucking all that fucking cock. But anyway, it's lovely to hear from you, Rob.
I'm here.
We're so fucking in the tunnel, aren't we? Is it Tom, Dick, or Harry?
There's a lot of cursing in that first 30 seconds there, Chris.
Fuck the cursing. We're fucking in the middle
20 bleeps I'm going to have to do.
Well, good. We're in the middle of a fucking pandemic. What were we now? Tier 10?
We're coming up to a year.
Oh, I've had enough of it, Rob. I've had enough of it.
I don't know. I don't mind it.
Going to the supermarket is the new holiday. Going to buy
Just
candles.
don't take the family. Don't take the family.
Fuck. You can't go stupid.
I had to go to Tesco today.
Oh, don't take the family.
I had to go to Tesco, and it was bring your senior citizen parents
Brilliant.
day.
Good.
So there was the young person with the 2 seniors with the oxygen masks and the wheelchairs, and I just didn't understand that at all. And everybody's bumping into everybody else. Everybody's wearing masks. That's cool.
Yeah.
But everybody's bumping, like literally the carts are like banging, clanging into each other.
Yeah.
I went in there for basically like 2 things. And I ran out in a panic, and I forgot one of the things.
Oh, Robert.
Because I looked down the aisle it was.
You should never look down.
I looked down the aisle where it was, and there was 50 carts all sitting sideways, not face on or back end. They were sitting sideways. It honestly looked like some weird maze.
That's a cruise
You had to go like in between.
It's Jeff Wall. That's what that is. Jeff, was there papers flying up in the air? Was everybody in slow motion? I go in, Rob. You know, Bangor isn't so bad, but there's some. You still get the odd wanker walking about with a protest mask on with a nose out. You know what I mean? Gather chewing gum up the aisle. I like the mask. I might keep it up because I think I've quite handsome eyes. So the mask, you can imagine, kind of suits me. You know, you don't know what you're going to get under. There'll be people dating, Rob, with meeting with masks on and getting home, and it'll be a whole shit show. You know what I mean? They'll have three teeth.
Oh my God!
I know, yeah, flaky moustaches.
It's George Clooney.
It's George Looney. I can tell you that. Robert, how many stories have you? 2.
Dude, there's only 1.
What? Oh, the Sony A1.
Well, there's 1.5.
You can drift off.
How many you got?
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay. So maybe I'll just say my stories, and then I'll just nod off, and you can finish off the rest.
You could try talking about documentary photography. You probably do it now. I'd imagine you're a fair old bash at it. Sony A1, of course you would talk about the Sony A1.
Well, I think there's 2 stories.
Oh, all of a sudden,
Yes.
fucking Paul
no,
McKenna?
No, I said there's 1.5. There's one.
Okay.
So yeah, the Sony, but also, I think the other big news is that GFX100.
Yeah.
And people have been trying to buy it, and it's back ordered.
Of course.
Like crazy.
What's
like
it?
Crazy.
It's 998 or something, isn't it?
No. It's no. We talked about it 2 weeks ago. It was.
You said it was
54.99.
Ah, okay. Well, it's cheaper than the A1.
Or 56.99.
It's medium format, isn't that right?
Yeah, it's medium format.
That would get my.
That's crazy.
That would get my ticket. Would you go?
Oh, dude. Oh, jeez. You know, if this was 5 years ago, yeah, for sure.
What do you mean?
Wouldn't hesitate.
Oh, you mean but work-wise?
Yeah. Wouldn't hesitate.
No, I get you.
I mean, the camera's amazing. The fact that you can shoot whatever it is, I can't remember now. It's like 4K 60 raw, to an Atomos Ninja, and like the video, the autofocus is getting there. It's much better than the last ones. Got 100 megapixels,
and it looks nice, Rob. It looks nice. It looks like you could drive a tank over it.
The 100 megapixel thing, you really need to rein in your shooting. You really need to start thinking about it.
You're not doing.
I mean, I've been shooting more and more with my Sony A7R3, the 42 megapixel.
Okay, yeah.
And I did. The client came back to me. I shot a job a couple weeks ago, and the client came back to me and had 60 pics. But I said, they need some retouching. Little blemishes here and there, whiten up some teeth here and there, stuff that you couldn't do in Lightroom.
Yeah.
And I said to them, can you whittle down that 60 a bit? And he's like, well, what? And I go, because when I take that out of Lightroom and bring it into Photoshop and save it as a TIFF, that 42 megapixels as a 16-bit TIFF becomes a gig.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
950 megabytes as a single layered file. That's without me putting a retouching layer on top of that, or any curves or any other adjustments, or even duplicating a layer or anything like that.
Yeah.
So you're looking at a gig. So I got 60 gigs worth of selected images that they might or might not even use. They might only use 5 of them. So it'd be preferable to whittle that down. So you can imagine shooting a 100 megapixel camera and the client seeing the same thing. And, those are now, whatever it is, 2.5 gigs as a TIFF. One file. What do you think?
You think if you work on set and you're giving them raw, which I know is not going to be, it's going to be considerably smaller than the TIFF. But if you think of this, if you're giving them all your raw at 100, Jesus, that's a lot of. You could be shooting thousands.
It's a lot of data.
It's a lot of data.
A lot of data.
It could change the face of delivery, couldn't it? Again, even we. Well, I suppose you have other ways of doing it, but anyway, it means that that is considerable. What's the new A1 mini's at?
50 megapixels.
Okay, and it's 699 or something, isn't it? Something like that.
It is. Yeah, it's $6,500.
Okay.
American. It's $6,500 Canadian.
Okay.
It's 6,500 pounds.
Okay. Unless you go to Panama's, where it'll be £8.99, and you can get a free lens.
Yeah, they're not going to have it for a while.
They're
really not going to have it for a while.
They don't have it. I've checked.
Yeah.
But
not for a long time.
The bonus to that is that the A9 II, which is really my camera, with the anti-flicker, is going to drop in price, I do believe.
Yeah, the A1 has so much better anti-flicker and so much better autofocus.
Yeah, but I don't have $6,000 to go and. Well, unless a job comes up, of course. But anyway.
So that's kind of leading into my second story. It's really, all the reviewers on YouTube have gotten the A1, and they've all started posting their
have they?
reviews.
I couldn't watch it. I couldn't watch it. It would make me
It's so
dreamy.
Oh my God, it's incredible.
Minute
It's incredible.
30. I can't believe I'm fucking asking this shit. You stop driving me mad.
Go ahead.
30
Nerd.
30 frames a second.
Nerd.
30 frames a second.
Yep, 30 frames a second, dude.
I don't need 30. You know what I need? I need 2 frames a second, Rob. You know how I used to work, little.
So
geeky
I'm gonna start naming. I'm gonna start naming some of the YouTubers. So I only watch Jared Polin.
You love
for
Jared
the humor
Polin.
of it.
You love him. You fancy
Oh,
him.
he's funny. He's
you told me
funny.
last week you thought he had a cute ass. So don't try and backtrack now just because he's funny. Of course he's funny.
I wish I had an afro. That's about it. No, but he had some great points about the 30 frames a second. You know, he was shooting sports.
Yeah, I was.
And he literally he was shooting a
It's
guy pitching a ball.
It's a
He was
movie,
throwing-
Rob. 30 frames a second is a movie.
Yeah, and this guy's throwing a fastball,
Yeah.
and he's shooting it, and he's got 5 frames to choose from out of the 30, where the ball is leaving the guy's hand before it exits the frame.
Why do I like that? Why am
5 frames.
Why am
That's
I?
incredible.
Rob, I don't want to be tacky. Just I want you to know that right now. I don't want to. If I start fucking dreaming about tech, it's going to be a sad day in my head.
And who else? Gerald Undone had some great points about it.
He's great legs. He's great knees, Gerald. If you ever look at them, he
He
has.
stands behind a desk. How do you see it?
Because I Google him and I ask him for private photographs.
You doing Cameo with Gerald Undone?
If you never heard of Hunter S. Thompson, you know how things work.
Yeah, I know a Hunter.
You know imagination. You know where you can wrangle things out.
But what I've been thinking about, honestly, for the past 3 or 4 days right
Oh,
now.
Rob, don't.
Okay, so you got the A7S3 here at 3,500 pounds.
Yeah, reasonable.
And you have the A1 over here at 6,500 pounds. And yeah, it's 12 megapixels versus 50 megapixels. It's got far better low light and video capability
What the?
compared to the S3.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah.
The A1 has slightly better autofocus, higher megapixel, and the anti-flicker
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
But it's twice the price.
I know.
You could almost buy 2 S3s for the price of one A1.
But why would you ever need? Why well, I suppose the low light stuff. I would say one like low light, good.
But you think about that. You think about that A7S3. I mean, for film,
I know.
for low light. I mean, by the time you get to that sort of low light situation, I mean, you're not using lights. You're not. You shouldn't be. You shouldn't be conflicted with
No, I know.
a flicker situation.
Yeah.
Like you shouldn't be into.
When you say that though, or what are you talking? You're talking the ISO can go up to 14 billion and it's still reasonable.
Yeah, I mean, well, they say it's a dual native ISO, and it goes from 100 is the base to I think the S3 is 6400 ISO is the second level. So when you hit 6400, all the noise in the shadows disappears again. Whereas with the A1, I think it's 12,800 is where it dips again. It's incredible. It's
Rob.
totally incredible.
Rob, do you think we could go in and create a distraction in some of the shops and just take a couple? Could we do it?
No. They're all dummy cameras.
Well, no, they're not, are they? Hold on, let me check.
Most of them are dummy
Yeah,
cameras.
I know.
Unless they're on a leash.
No,
If they're on a leash. Then.
You should be in a leash.
But anyways, I mean, just like,
Yeah,
it's
but-
such a conundrum, you know, like,
Well, would you not buy
I
one
love
and
that
let me
idea.
borrow it? In the name of Jesus. You have money sitting about.
What?
Yeah,
I
one.
don't have any money.
You do.
I just came out of the worst year in my entire career.
You've loads of savings.
But that S3 is just 12 megapixels, dude. I can do a billboard.
No, I know.
Sheet with 12 megapixels.
Yeah, I know, but
it's not an issue.
I know. You and I know that listen, all that stuff
never
is,
been an issue. And all
stuff,
those YouTubers and all those Instagrammers have issues with 12 megapixels.
Yeah.
They've never shot an ad before. Yeah, 12 megapixels, if you're doing a trade show booth or something, it's going to make a difference. Yeah, you want high res for a trade show booth because that's the best high gloss printing available, and people are going to be walking right up to it.
It's not going to make a massive difference even for stills, really. I suppose.
Except for trade show. Yeah.
Yeah. What's mine? 24. A9's 24, something like that.
A9's 24.
It's bags. There's not loads. But if we had the money, Rob, you'd buy one. If you had the money, you'd buy two.
What, the A1?
Yeah.
I'd buy an A1 and an S3. But with my cameras the way they are now, with an A7 and an A7 III and an A7R3,
yeah,
I could trade those both in. I still wouldn't be able to buy an S3.
Well,
they still wouldn't give me an S3.
I was speaking to a friend, and he's got the new Fuji, and he has an A9 II and the S, and it's. I think that those are his cameras of choice.
He bought the S3?
Yeah, I think that's what he has, and the new Fuji.
Oh, Fuji.
Yeah,
I thought you said
the medium format, but he also has the A9 II.
Yes.
For the anti-flicker. It's the flicker thing bugs me. I love, why can I talk about this anymore? Can I talk about my stuff? You've been talking for 40 minutes. 40 minutes, and oh God, am I still going? Not too long have I got left, you think? I've got 14 minutes.
Bye, Chris. See ya. We're done.
We're not done. I'm not done. Here, do you want me to tell you a bit of good news?
Go ahead.
Proud news. Great news. Belfast Exposed, Rob. I don't talk about much because I don't feel I have to, because they're a great organisation. Belfast Exposed are investing in new lights for the studio classes. What are they buying, Rob?
New Bowens?
No. Let's go higher up the chain.
Allen Chrome.
Rob, don't insult me. Don't make me feel like I have to walk over. I have to walk over to you, because it's a long walk from here to you.
Okay, hold on. Multi-Blitz. Valcar.
No.
Venka.
No, let's keep going right to
Speedotron.
Go to
Norman.
the top. Go to the top.
Photogenic.
No. Well, I am, but thanks.
Broncolor.
Nope. I do like Broncolor. Fairness.
I like Broncolor.
Yeah. No, not Broncolor. Profoto B10.
Never heard of them.
Two.
Who are they now?
Huh?
Who are they?
Profoto. You maybe haven't heard of them.
P2s?
P2s.
What?
Yeah. B10s.
P2s?
What you think of that?
That's great, dude.
A gallery.
I'm impressed.
A gallery. Listen, the director and I, Deirdre, have had conversations. She's really keen to make everything top end with regards to training. And we had a word, and it was we had a conversation, a very simple conversation about what would be, what would work for, because you're stuck in the studio doing stuff. You can't go out anywhere. Now with the opportunity to go on location and do stuff.
Yep.
Even for that in itself.
And you can power the units with the battery charger.
And you can power the units with the battery charger. I have watched nothing but, because I want a set for myself. Well, I am going to get a set for myself very soon. 3,000 something or other. Something like that.
For the B10s or B10 Plus?
B10s. I know, well, yeah, the B10 Plus.
So the 250 watt units,
Yeah.
they're whatever, like 1,1600 a piece.
Yeah.
So
that's okay, isn't it? Sounds dear.
Yeah. Oh, no, they're very dear for sure.
But how long is that going to last you? My argument was that they will last you. If you're buying other stuff, cheap stuff, you'll have to replace them 3 or 4 times. The money's good, the money's sound. It's an investment.
It's not even the fact that you need to replace them. It's the fact that you need to bring backups.
Yeah. It's
your gig.
It's here, Rob. It's the security, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know it's.
You know what I found? You know what I found, Chris?
What?
Using the B10 pluses, the LEDs, the variable LED, the color temperature on them.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I mean, because there's certain situations where you're trying to dial the strobe down as far as it would go.
No, of course, yeah.
And it won't go any further.
Yeah.
So you just turn the trigger off, and you just turn up the LED.
And away you go.
Yeah, and you just shoot with the LED.
I know, and you know what? For video and everything else, it's a no-brainer. And I have to say, I'm absolutely chuffed that they're going to land, because it just makes everything so exciting. The other thing is, with that, I have been watching. I'll do it next week. I should have done it this week. I've been watching an amazing guy, and now he shoots an Anachrome, which is his only downfall, but I imagine he's sponsored to the hilt. But he is Felix Kunz. Is that his name? Felix Kunz. Something else to watch on YouTube. Whenever you look at stuff and sometimes it's arsey, or it's too much, or it's too little, or it doesn't hit the spot, this is like this is like a vegan trifle. I just spoon after spoon. But you know what he does? He takes you through the setting up of the stands, okay, himself, right through to the ethos and ethics of studio. It's just something else. It's just something else.
So he's anal retentive.
He's just amazing. Do you know what?
He's anal retentive. He's just like me.
He's just like you, Rob. He's making flats, right? And he's showing you how to make these, how to make flats. It's just, everything has to be just so.
Yep.
Now, you know me, okay, and you know where I've come from, and I have never been just so, okay. I am turning into just so, because you get the benefit of absolutely everything, and it's a mindset. It's not an anal retentive thing. It's a mindset that if you're doing it from that level, from putting tape on properly, from the tape onto the bottom of a board, to the feathering, and it's like moving it like literally an inch, and then showing you that it's just. I've never been so intrigued, and so I sat for I think 3 nights, just video after video after video after video.
Good for you,
Rob. I know, because I didn't. I'm not scared to say I don't understand stuff.
So you're going to show me stuff in the studio now,
Rob? I'm going to show you stuff in the studio. I'm going to show you stuff in the studio. I'm going to show you stuff in the studio. I swear to Christ. Now, will it affect my work? Yeah, I think it really will. Definitely anyway, I'm excited. I am excited, but for the first time in a long time with regards to learning new stuff, I am excited. I'm stoked. Let me tell you about this. But I tell you about my stuff, Rob. You finished ganching about fucking.
Oh, I thought that was it.
No, it's not mine. No, the Profoto stuff. No, that's just an aside. Just Deirdre Rob.
Or you're just distracting me.
Deirdre Rob, Profoto, world class. Wants top end teaching, top end delivery, and I think it's that just so thing, isn't it? It's that just so. You don't walk in and see bones. You don't walk in and see new. You don't walk in and
5 minutes.
see. Right, I'll be really quick. Mine's easy. I'm going to talk about the Deutsche Börse prize. Okay, and it's I'm going to talk about one person on it. Okay, and that is. Poulomi Basu, I think it is, B-A-S-U, okay, and she is one of the 4 nominations for the Foundation's 2021 prize, which hasn't had it has been controversial in the past. Let's not mince our words around that, okay. There's been elements of discomfort for some people, but I always think, let's look and see what the crack is. So there's 4 others who I'll go through in the next few weeks, but her work, my word, she did a book called Centralia, which exposes hidden crimes of war as an indigenous people fight for their survival. In war, truth is the first casualty. Of course, we know that goes without saying. And Centralia explores the unsteady relationship between reality and fiction, and how perceptions of reality and truth are manipulated. But I'm on Photo Bookstore here, by the way, looking at the work, flicking across. It is just amazing. Okay, you know, if you look at stuff, you just feel you want to go out and make work. And it kind of changes how you make work, or how you talk about work anyway, for sure. So she's an Indian transmedia artist. Do you like that? Transmedia artist. And it also talks about such exploration comes at a price, the transmogrification of violence into de facto language of politics. Wow. Transmogrification is one of my favorite all-time words. Whenever I saw that, I was like, I feel at home. There you go. That's what I thought. The work is just... it's women's right. It's just brilliant. Okay, but if you go on to that, then what you do is, I'll put links on. We have in conversations with Poulomi 5 years ago. I've been doing loads of research at Leicester at the LCB depot. It's an in conversation with, and it lets you see the journey 5 years ago, which I love doing. 5 years ago to now to the prize. Okay. Also, we have Shwar from what do I love? Photoworks. We have a really nice piece of work there, so it's good to get a bit of a grounding in this whole stuff. And of course, then if we go into Photo Book Store and the photographer's gallery, I'll send links, and there's beautiful stuff to give you a really good rounded view. Last thing I'm going to say is really quickly, the Catchlight 2021 Fellowship is now open. I'll put a link up if you want a chance to win 30k. For making work or being supported in making work. It's where you want to go. I'm doing it this year. Maybe I shouldn't share that. No, competition is good, isn't it? No, Rob, no. If I don't get it because somebody has heard this and they went for it and the work's better than mine, good. Well,
they deserve it.
They deserve it. No hands over the homeworks with the bars and the Durstons, for sure. That's me. I flew through that, didn't I?
Very good, very good.
Rob, have a look at the Catchlight. Have a look. 30k. It's not for the money. It's not the money. Well, the money would be, it's handy, but it's how the money is used with regards to education and everything else. Do you see how much more excited I am about the actual work than the gear? Although I have to say, like a wee giggle in my stomach every time I think of her friend teaching the studio stuff. Actually, I laugh. Leah keeps saying to me, "Why are you laughing?" And I'm like, and the other thing is as well, you could look at him all day, Rob. He is a good look. My friend, the studio guy. What did I say his name was? Lucas? Felix Kuhns. He is so easy on the eye. He's so easy on the eye. He's beautiful. And as such, the teaching style, I have to say, I'm trying to emulate it. He's so quiet and so... just so. There you go. Everything I'm not.
So you got a minute and a half. Yeah. Anything else to say?
Yeah. Do you think you'd find him attractive? You'd never rule it out, would
Probably
you?
not.
Why do you? No, I wouldn't. I would never rule that out, Frank. How do you spell Kuhns? Kuhns, there it is. Felix Kuhns Lighting. Here he is. I'm mastering one light with Felix. That's what I
Well, you're going to put the link in the description, right?
No, I have to now. I don't know, but I will talk about it. I will talk about it next week. It's Alan Chrome.
And you're going to write me a description of all your links, all your stories. You're going to write me like a little description, even one sentence. You're just going to tell me about.
Well, I'll try.
But let me first time
forever. Right, listen to here. Let me say this really quickly. Even though it's kind of like sometimes whenever I'm with students, I think I love them, and I love them because I think if they were my son, I'd be so proud. It makes me feel old, but if they were my son, I'd be so proud. He gives me that feeling. If one of my kids, I'm going to force my kids to eat him. We'll capture him, put him on a plate, and see if we can ingest him somehow. There you go. It's a big admission. Rob, I was feeling vomity before this. I feel great now. You are a tonic.
You're done. You're done. Yeah. Your soliloquy at the end there got cut off.